Welcome everybody to the Week in Review, episode 177. This is where we go over Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style. We're going to be starting off with Monday Night Raw. We had a pretty kick-ass steel cage match. Dominic turned heel. Braun Strowman is back. We are going to be talking about Monday Night Raw first, given the ranking at the end. So without further ado, let's jump into Raw. We opened up the show with Edge, of course, coming out, talking about the fallout from Clash at the Castle, how Dominic turned heel on his father, Rey Mysterio, as well as one of his best friends, Edge. He was not too happy. He was calling out Judgment Day. He's like, get out here, let's frickin' fight. So Judgment Day comes out, but they don't come out with their classic three. They come out with Dominic. It was up in the air if Dominic was going to turn to the Judgment Day because he didn't really join them at Clash of the Castle. He sort of just turned heel at Clash of the Castle, but he is officially with the Judgment Day. Here's our group, guys, looking absolutely awesome, in my opinion. I do like Judgment Day. I think they're pretty cool. I just think they need to establish their characters a little bit more, and they're doing that week by week. I think it's pretty cool. But they came out. Rey Mysterio comes out because obviously he's insanely in shock that Dominic is with the Judgment Day. He's like, you can't even look me in my eyes. And he's right in his face and everything. And then he didn't really take out Rey Mysterio. He kind of stopped Rey Mysterio from helping Edge in the ring because Edge was getting assaulted by Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley was the one that really did the shot to the back of the head of Rey to drop him down. But yeah, Dominic kind of just stopped him from helping out Edge in the ring. But yeah, Judgment Day came out. They took out Edge. They assaulted his leg, and then Edge was taken to a local medical facility. I thought it was a solid way to open up the show. Definitely with an insane shocker of Dominic turning to the Judgment Day. I absolutely love it. I was getting a little worn out with Dominic with his dad, with his father Rey. It was just getting a little worn out. They were losing matches. They weren't winning as much, so definitely change it up. I am a big fan of that. We jumped into our opening match of the night. It was the Street Profits versus the New Day versus the Alpha Academy versus Los Lotharios in a tag team contenders match. And I loved this match. I thought this match was really good. It had me very confused, though, how the New Day was in this match. You would think it would be the Viking Raiders, right? Because the Viking Raiders beat the New Day on a recent episode of SmackDown. So you think the Viking Raiders would have that spot instead of the New Day, but it didn't really matter because the match was thrown out the window when Braun Strowman came out and kicked everybody's butt, dude. Braun Strowman's music hits nearing the end of the match. You could tell it was nearing the end of the match because this match was getting pretty long. We had like 2 commercial breaks during it. It was a great match. I really enjoyed it. But it got interrupted by the monster among men, Braun Strowman. He runs out. He freaking starts taking out everybody, running power slam to Angelo Dawkins through the announce desk, running power slam, and just different maneuvers, running around the ring, taking out absolutely everybody. It was awesome. There was a little sneak peek of Braun returning before he actually returned in an interview with The Miz and Dexter Lumis backstage. Triple H loves to add those little foreshadows before big things actually happen. There was a flipped car out in the parking lot that Miz and Tommaso Ciampa passed. So that was pretty freaking cool. I'm like, oh, it's either Dexter Lumis' antics or Braun Strowman's back. And Strowman was back. He made a mad impact by taking out every single tag team. And he said he's going to be popping in on SmackDown this Friday. What is he going to do? Is he going to target the Tribal Chief? I don't know, because Roman sort of already beat Braun Strowman. But we'll see. I'm very excited. It is going to be good. Moving over here, it was Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory one-on-one. Of course, Theory was out there talking about how he got screwed over at Clash of the Castle. He got punched right in the face by Tyson Fury when he was trying to cash in. Kevin Owens interrupts. He tells him to stop whining and complaining and let's just have a match. I love this new Kevin Owens. He's not a heel, but he's not a face. It's so good. I love it. So Kevin Owens, he has a match with Theory. It's a pretty good match. I did enjoy it. Pop-up powerbomb and Stone Cold Stunner in the end to pick up the victory for Kevin Owens. Another win for KO. He is on a winning streak, and I absolutely love it. Another loss for Theory, but I don't really think it harms Theory at all because he's sort of in a rivalry with Johnny Gargano, and Johnny Gargano did announce that next week he's going to be doing his in-ring action in like the past 9 months, his first in-ring action since 9 months, which is awesome. So yeah, he still needs to feud with Theory, so I'm glad they didn't advance anything between Kevin and him. I think that's pretty cool. Moving over here was a tag team match. Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah, the current women's tag team champions, going up against Nikki Cross and Doudrop. Dewdrop. Yeah, I got the brand new Dewdrop figure from Elite 96. It's brand new at Ringside Collectibles. Cold Life saves 10%. This match was okay. Raquel Rodriguez definitely was the factor again in winning these matches. I feel like Aaliyah definitely tries her best. She's awesome. She's really cute. But Raquel Rodriguez, definitely the dominant member of the group, carries the team a little bit. And she did like an odd powerbomb type maneuver and stacked up Dewdrop to pick up the victory and retain the titles. Wasn't a bad match. I wouldn't say it was a really good match either. Moving over here, it was Damage Control with their awful theme song. I do like the group name. The group name, Damage Control, I think that's really cool. But as far as their theme song, it is absolute butt, dude. But they came out, they were talking about how they're looking for the gold. Dakota Kai and Io Sky have a rematch for the Women's Tag Team Championships coming up next week, so they're gunning for the titles. And Bayley's gunning for the Women's Championship that Bianca holds because she pinned her at Clash at the Castle. I'm looking forward to this. I'm definitely looking forward to the future of Damage Control, but they didn't get interrupted by Bianca Belair. But then Bayley showed up Bianca a little bit by saying, well, yeah, you won, lost, your ego can't take that, and this and that. So yeah, Bayley and Damage Control definitely got the best of Bianca in this promo. Wasn't horrible, wasn't the best in my opinion though. Later in the show, we did have a one-on-one match between Damian Priest and Rey Mysterio. It was one-on-one. It was really decent. I did enjoy this match. Rey Mysterio obviously could not stay focused during this match because he has to fathom that his son Dominic turned to the dark side of Judgment Day, so he could not pick up the victory. Damian Priest was able to pick up the victory and take out Rey Mysterio with a bunch of help on ringside from Finn and Rhea. It was just a cheap match. No Edge. Edge was actually in the hospital, so he wasn't able to help out Rey. But yeah, they dominated Rey Mysterio and then stood above his carcass with Dominic. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see Dominic on Judgment Day. Like I said, I do like it. I'm interested to see where it's going to go. But yeah, that match wasn't bad. Moving over here, it was our main event. It was a steel cage match for the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley going one-on-one with The Miz. This match was really good. I knew somehow they were going to get Dexter Lumis involved. Miz was about to win the United States Championship. He was about to escape the cage after a pretty decent match. He was climbing down the wall, and he saw Dexter Lumis under the ring apron, just his head and his upper torso revealed under the apron. I was like, oh my God, dude. It was freaking creepy looking. He scares Miz back into the cage, and then Bobby Lashley spears him, retains the United States Championship. Dexter Lumis climbs in the cage and puts to sleep The Miz after Bobby Lashley shut the door on him. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty cool way to end the show, just showing Miz's intense fear of Dexter Lumis locked inside of a cage with him, putting him to sleep. I thought that was pretty cool. I would have preferred him to do like a finishing maneuver instead of just putting him to sleep, like maybe a finishing maneuver and then putting him to sleep. He kind of petted his hair after too. It was kind of weird. But that's Dexter Lumis, man. He's cool, dude. He's creepy. But yeah, the ending of the show wasn't too bad. But yeah, guys, that was Monday Night Raw. Not a bad show whatsoever. Definitely a highlight. Braun Strowman returning and Dominic joining Judgment Day. In the end, I'm probably going to give this show a solid 3 out of 5. Definitely an enjoyable show. Raw is actually really fun to watch nowadays. It wasn't when Mr. McMahon was in charge these past a couple of years here. But yeah, ever since Triple jumped back in, he's made it a great show. 3 out of 5, still pretty good. Now we're going to jump into SmackDown. Jumping into SmackDown, pretty decent show. We're going to talk about our opening match first. It was Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci going up against the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Pete Dunne Butch, and Ridge Holland. Brawling Brutes versus the Imperium, 6-man tag team match to open up the show. This was such an amazing match. I loved this. Literally keeping the hot streak right off of Sheamus versus Gunther at Clash of the Castle. They kept the streak going with a kick-butt match here between the Brawling Brutes and Imperium. This was really good. Chop fest, amazing slugfest. I thought Giovanni Vinci on his opening debut match on SmackDown here did a great job. He did an amazing job. Him and Ludwig Kaiser were able to hit a double team on Ridge Holland, I believe it was, to pick up the victory for the team. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm interested to see where Brawling Brutes go from here. I'm interested to see where Gunther goes from here. Does he continue feuding with Sheamus, or does he go on to something new? I would prefer him personally to go on to something new, but it would be pretty cool to see him and Sheamus go at it one more time. But honestly, I would prefer it for him to go on to something new. Moving over here is Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Los Lotharios, teaming up with the Maximum Male Models, Marseille and Mansoir, going up against Hit Row, as well as the Street Profits, some 8-man tag team match. It was pretty decent. Wasn't a bad tag team match, but it was basically just a tag team match. In the end, we saw Ashante Diadonis pick up the victory for his team by taking out one of the Maximum Male Models. I forgot which one it was, but they reigned tall with the Street Profits. Wasn't a bad tag team match at all. Moving over here, we did have Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah going up against Toxic Attraction from NXT. This was alright. Another sort of just a tag team match. Aaliyah and Raquel, I would say evenly dominated Toxic Attraction here. It was an easy win for them. I'm not sure if it was for the Women's Tag Team Championships, but it was an easy dub for Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez. Moving over here, it was a 5-women elimination match to determine who's going to be facing Liv Morgan next for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It was Lacey Evans, Sonya Deville, Ronda Rousey, Natalya, and Xia Li. An elimination match. Wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty obvious, though. It was pretty obvious that Ronda Rousey was going to win. I thought maybe they'd give it to Lacey Evans, but no. They gave it to Ronda Rousey, so it's going to be Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan once again. Hopefully on an episode of SmackDown. Hopefully they don't save it for the next pay-per-view. But yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that later. Later, after the match backstage, Ronda Rousey did pass Shayna Baszler, and she's like, hey, if you never need somebody to kick butt in this business with, just give me a shout, and we could freaking double team everybody. I'm like, ooh, I would love to see a tag team with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. That just makes so much sense. For real. But yes, future Women's Championship match, we're going to be seeing Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan. Not bad at all. And I almost forgot to mention, Maximum Male Models, I think that needs to end. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's definitely a Vince idea that's hanging on by a thread, and Triple H needs to squash it. I needed to get that out. Moving over here, it was the return of Braun Strowman, but right before they went to commercial, they announced, okay, yeah, return of the Braun Strowman, and then right when they get back from a commercial, shoosh, the Alpha Academy comes out. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought we were supposed to see Braun Strowman. And I was like, okay, yeah, Braun's going to take out these idiots. So Gable, Master Gable, and the size of Otis. Otis comes out, and they're basically just talking trash about the local sports team and this and that. And then Braun Strowman's new theme song hits, and I don't know about the new theme, boys. I don't know. I do miss his old, yo. That theme song just goes so hard. It's just like literally, it just sounds like an insane rampage, that theme. But yeah, I guess the new theme song will have to grow on me. It'll have to, unless Triple H moves it back. But anyways, Braun Strowman runs out. He powerbombs Otis, destroys Master Gable, and basically just reigns tall. Wasn't bad. I'm interested to see what feud Braun Strowman's going to get into it. Maybe with Roman Reigns? Not sure. We'll have to see. Moving over here was the main event of the show. Solo Sikoa. Yes, I know that's Jey Uso. I'm posing that as Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa introduced himself earlier in the show with Sami Zayn and the Usos, talking about he's an NXT upstart. He's coming up. He's part of the Bloodline now. And then he got himself a match between him and Drew McIntyre later in the show because Drew McIntyre tried attacking him with a chair because he screwed over him at Clash at the Castle, making him lose. So, yeah, we're getting Solo Sikoa versus Drew McIntyre, main event of SmackDown. Sami Zayn also took a chair shot for Solo Sikoa, showing his allegiance to the Bloodline once again. Hopefully they turn on Sami Zayn soon. He's getting kind of annoying. But anyways, it was Solo Sikoa versus Drew McIntyre in the main event. Wasn't a bad match. It was literally so much interference from the Usos and Sami Zayn on ringside. It was literally outrageous amounts of interference from both of them as the ref wasn't paying attention. And then the Street Profits came out. Because they saw enough, they're like, okay, I got to take out the Usos here. They are causing way too much of a distraction for Drew McIntyre. They ran down, a little all-out brawl on ringside, and then randomly inside the ring, Karrion Kross comes out of nowhere, turns to black and white the screen, and then he chokes out Drew McIntyre. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that he was feuding with Karrion Kross because he threw the water bottle at him and Clash the Castle. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot he was feuding with Karrion Kross. Because obviously they can't make Solo Sikoa look bad, and they can't make Drew McIntyre look bad again. So yeah, they just made a disqualification, Karrion Kross. I'm not the biggest fan of the DQs on these regular shows, but yeah, I guess that was the only route to go. But yeah, guys, that was SmackDown. That was Raw setup style. What a perfect time for all that to fall. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. SmackDown this week for me is going to get a 2 out of 5. I loved the opening match between Imperium and the Brawling Brutes. That was definitely my favorite match on the card. Let me know what you guys thought about the shows down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. BrettO Live out.